So I want all of this gone.
Okay.
So this is actually a rental property that we are going to renovate, turn it into the first Lux Pad vacation rental. It's already received some damage via the plumbing lines, so you notice the bottom half is removed and we're down to the subfloors. But yeah, we're just gonna do a walkthrough about renovating the space and talk about all the things that we'd like to do here, so come on in. The closet, all of this stuff, I'd like to move this wall. I'd like to put windows in the back here and an island here and just open this space up. This soffit I'd also like to go away. So coming in and finding the sewage flood really took me aback. I came in through the garage and already knew there was something wrong. There was a thick, like sludge of like a gray-brown, thick layer all over the floor, and there was a terrible smell in the air. All throughout, I want to like get rid of the popcorn ceilings and change all the light fixtures. They might not be willing to pay for everything, like, or give us the actual value of the furniture and stuff that we lost. So if you're dealing with any type of home damage and you have to present information to either an insurance company or a county like we're doing in this case, or any entity that is going to reimburse you for the damage, firstly, I suggest getting 3 independent quotes from contractors. This is going to help you to get a more accurate number for how much it's going to cost to repair everything. We mostly rent to nurses that they don't like to share bathrooms. This home will be the first Lux Pad vacation rental. And to create a boutique hotel experience, I'd like each of the bedrooms to have their own ensuite bathroom. This bathroom would go to them, and then this bathroom would go to this person. This creates its own challenges. But I think when it's all done, it's going to create a luxury experience that's going to be completely worth it. You're going to want to note, take inventory, and get pricing for everything that has been damaged. This can be quite a daunting task, but if you have receipts, that's great. If not, you can see if you can find that item still on the internet, and if you can't do that, then you can find something comparable to help you come up with the prices of everything that has been damaged. Like, the water never makes it to the storm drain. It comes down the steps and hits the foundation. All these things need to be done. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Okay, guys, so we just wrapped up our 3rd and final contractor meeting. It went really well. Looks like we're good to go to remove all the walls that I want to remove.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely open up these walls.
Okay.
Answer is yes.
I am trying to add an additional bathroom upstairs in place of where a closet is. It seems like we have the correct square footage, but it might be an issue running the plumbing all the way from the basement to that 2nd floor. So we'll see how it works out. Right now I'm starving. I'm gonna go home, make lunch, and we'll ponder on it later. Okay, so today for lunch, I'm going to make a seafood pasta. I am on a vegan journey, so veganish as I call it right now, but seafood is kind of my Achilles heel. So I'm going to make a pasta that has a faux scallop using these king trumpet mushrooms. And they actually do cook up looking exactly like scallops. They have the same texture as well. So about this size, just think scalloped size. So I'm just going to place those here in this bowl. And the tops and the ends, like I mentioned, we'll use later in our sauce. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually chop up some garlic. Let's just give it a nice seafood vibe. Rough chop here, mince it. I'm gonna put that directly into the bowl. Next, I'm gonna use a lime. You can also use a lemon. Just roll it around and get the juices going. Chop that in half. And I'm only gonna use a little bit because sometimes the citrus can be pretty overpowering. Throw on some olive oil. I'm gonna use a lot. I'm gonna use a lot of olive oil because that's gonna help my seasoning stick. So I'm just gonna give that a quick toss with my hands, and then we'll add our dry seasonings. Seasoning salt. And then of course, in any seafood dish, you need Old Bay. And even though we have fresh garlic in there, I am still gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. And then a tad bit of smoked paprika. Just gonna hit it with some black pepper. And I'm gonna give this a quick mix. You can see it kind of starting to look like scallops already. So I'm gonna mix this around and I'm gonna put this aside for later and we'll add it to our finished dish. Okay, so while I was cutting up my mushrooms, I had my water boiling here. I'm going to add the pasta. It's come to a boil now. I went with shells because I thought it would kind of soak up our Alfredo-like sauce and be good in there. And that should be all set till we come back to it. So now we're gonna start cutting up our vegetables to go into our Alfredo sauce. Right now we have mushrooms, fresh mushrooms, tomato. I'm also going to add some marinated mushrooms. Okay, next we have artichoke hearts. These also came out of a can. So last but not least, we have our sun-dried tomatoes. So the base of this Alfredo is actually oat milk. And start whisking that in. I'm gonna let that heat up a little bit before I add my flour and nutritional yeast. So to thicken up the sauce and give it a more cheesy consistency, I'm going to add cassava flour and just whisk it in. Now I'm using cassava flour. If you have anyone in your family that is gluten intolerant, this is a great alternative to a regular flour. Another thickening agent that I'm gonna use is nutritional yeast. So not only is this gonna thicken it up, but it's also gonna give it a nice cheesy flavor. So I think that's in a good place now. I'm gonna go ahead and add the vegetables that we chopped up earlier. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add some seasoning, good old seasoning salt. Just gonna stir that in there. I'm gonna hit it with some garlic powder. Gonna lower the heat, put the top on, and just let this simmer. Okay, so our king oyster mushrooms have had time to marinate while we were making everything else. And the more amount of time it can marinate is the better. We're gonna go ahead and put them on our griddle here. They already have a good amount of oil on them, so you don't necessarily need to oil the griddle. Kind of golden brown around the edges. You can go ahead and flip those around. So our scallops are looking good and our sauce is just about done. I'm gonna go ahead and add our pasta before we plate it. Ooh, that sounds good. It looks good, it smells good, and it sounds good. This is really good. You guys really have to try it. If you do, let me know how it came out. Thank you for watching and tuning into the Lux Life. I'll see you next time.